I'm Susan Janowick, a village trustee, and I have this evening, we're talking with Bob Flood from Special Events and Hospitality Night, and we'll be discussing music in the park and the car show for the summer season of 2015. And hi, Bob.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well.
Glad
Thanks
to
for
have
having me.
you.
Yeah,
Oh.
summer season's coming up.
Yes, it is. Now, the village has been doing the Music in Park event for quite a while. Do you know how long?
I believe this will be our 16th year, or actually I think it's our 17th. I think we've done 16 in a row. This will be our 17th year. We've had different kind of formations over the years. The car show has kind of expanded, and I know one year we had opening bands. We try to mix it up to keep people interested while still respecting the same kind of level that we've been accustomed to showing every year. So we got a few changes this year as well, while still maintaining the old design, and I'm really excited. This is my first year booking it, so I'm excited at the lineup we put together.
Yeah, it's really gotten popular and grown. You know, from the first year
Right.
attending, and you just, it was very nice and quiet, and
Yeah.
Now it's an event.
Right.
To me, it is. Yeah,
And quiet's not really my goal. I mean, I want people to have fun. I mean, that's kind of what
And
I
we
shoot
do.
for. Yeah.
We do.
It was so great last year to
Yeah.
see. I mean, it was my first summer in the village, and just the way people are so involved and so forthcoming with feedback and ideas. We've tried to incorporate some of those this year, and I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm really feeling positive about the music we've put
Good.
together.
And when does the Music in the Park take place?
The first show will be June 10th. Generally, we do that second Wednesday in June, so we're keeping that schedule. We'll run every Wednesday through August 26th, which will be the last show. We do take the Wednesday off for 4th of July because we tend to focus at Liberty Fest over
Sure.
there. But yeah, kickoff is June 10th. It was the 11th last year, so you can just step back one on your calendar, and we'll be off and running.
All right. Now, I know a lot of the seniors like to come and attend, there's a very large portion that do. And how do we accommodate for their attendance?
Generally what we do is on Deer King Drive, which is just south of Village Hall, that kind of cobblestone paved sidewalk there. We set aside some chairs there that we reserve strictly for seniors. In the event they don't fill up, by 8:30 we might allow some others to sit in there. But generally they're tagged, they say senior seating, and I know Bridgeway has brought out a bus for several dates last year. Of course, we're hoping they do the same. But we want to make sure that we are kind of catering to all age groups and doing our best to make sure everybody's comfortable.
Sure. Okay. And then, well, speaking of that, now who is it geared to?
Well, that's just it. I mean, who lives in Bensenville? You know, there's children, there's moms and dads, there's pets, there's grandparents,
yeah.
families, you know. So we try to cover a large swath of different types of music. I mean, there's the Beatles music that'll go as far back as the 60s. I mean, some songs even into the 50s with some of the bands. But generally it tends to be the more popular kind of selections that you've heard on the radio. You may have heard your older brothers and sisters, mom and dad playing. We want to make sure that everybody is kind of entertained. And if that means, you know, a different era one week, and you know, there's one week where we have a 90s type band, there's other weeks where we have a 70s type band. We just try to diversify to make sure that everybody knows what we're singing and really feels free to stand up and sing along if they like.
Sure, and dance.
And dance. There's plenty of
They
dancing.
do like to dance. But yeah, there is something for everybody in each week. You know?
Right.
So if you're just whatever category of music you like.
Exactly.
And what other activities do you have this year at Music in the Park?
Well, we kept a lot of the traditional activities that we've done in the past. Roseanne Eidernick has been doing face painting for years. Kids love her. They show up early, so she's coming back. Alan Meyer, our caricaturist, who's been there. This will actually be his last year doing it. He's going to retire after this summer, Alan, the caricaturist. Yes. So
now make sure you go and do that.
yeah, this will be his swan song, you know,
Okay.
and he's such a nice guy, and that's just it.
He
I
is,
mean, I don't like to change the traditions that have been in place. These are people that have relationships with the village residents, the kids. They know them by name, so we kept them. Of course, we're doing the carriage rides this year as well, the horse-drawn carriage, which will be running, you know, south on Center Street for the duration of the shows. But we've also kind of added a few new things. You know, we have some soloists this year. We've partnered to expand the French market a little bit. So the market itself, which was a farmer's market last year, is now a French market. That'll allow us to diversify what we're offering.
Okay.
And in order to get people to hopefully come and see that, we altered the hours a little bit. You know, last year it was 3 to 8 p.m. People aren't out of work at 3 p.m. So we're going to start it at 4:30 p.m. That way people get out of work at 5, they can swing by. It'll run till 8:30, a little further into the show. Of course, we won't chase them off if they want to stay till
Sure.
9 or 9:30.
Right.
But generally, the set hours will be 4:30 to 8:30. That way, people can come out a little earlier, maybe enjoy some live music earlier than they're accustomed to, check out the selection, and then still have time to enjoy the bands.
Sure. Yeah. You can purchase all your stuff and then walk back to your lawn chair and
Absolutely.
have a seat.
Yes.
You know, get your kettle corn or whatever it is you need to munch on.
And that's still kind of up in the air. We don't know all the things that will be
Okay.
offered. And we don't just want to do food. There might be some
No.
tents that sell, candles, perfumes, things like
Right.
that. We want to, the benefit of it being a French market is that it's not married to the idea of produce and farmers and carrots. While we may still have that,
Right.
we might just have some other selections that people might not be accustomed to.
Okay. But there is food.
Yes, some of the food will be offered by the market. Another thing is that, of course, we're having our local restaurants there throughout the summer. The
Right.
Mama Maria's and Bella Vista and El Toreo. We don't want to compete with them with what we're offering at the market.
Right.
So I think if the market does offer food, it might be things like packaged cheeses, smaller items that aren't going to, we're not going to offer pizza at the French market when Mama Maria's has done such a great job.
Right.
So again, we want to keep the local businesses thriving while continuing to expand our selection for people to try.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then there's no fee for music in the park.
No, the shows themselves are free.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That is very good.
And again, it's another tradition that I was happy to become a part of when I took the job. It's such a nice event that comes every week. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see this year the kids who I met last year who are
Yep.
now a year
Yep.
older and a
Yeah.
foot taller. I mean, it's a fun event that I think is unique to Bensenville. I know other towns do some sort of musical events, but this one, when you imagine the amount of space we have downtown, it's intimate. It's a nice, warm kind of setting. The lights in the trees, the wind,
Oh, it's beautiful.
everything.
I just love the lights in the trees.
Right. I mean, it's fantastic, and I want to make sure that everybody's getting everything out of it that they can.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much. We'll be back after this commercial break.
The Water's Edge Aquatic Center is conveniently located in the Redmond Recreational Complex in Bensenville. The Water's Edge is home of Fenton High School and Wahoo swim teams, featuring an indoor 8-lane lap pool and diving well. The Aquatic Center is available for private functions and parties. Learn to swim, stay in shape, or enjoy recreational swimming year-round at the Water's Edge Aquatic Center.
The Bensenville Community Library, serving a community of readers. Whether you're old or young, a lover of words, music, or computers, the library has something for you. Check out our new Kindles, toddler jams, story and movie nights, or a variety of other activities offered. For more information, call us at 630-766-4642 or check out our schedule on the web at benlib.org. The Bensenville Community Library, celebrating 50 years of library service.
As one of Chicagoland's premier ice skating facilities, the Edge is home to the Chicago Steel and Robert Morris Eagles, featuring 3 sheets of NHL regulation size ice, offering skate programs for hockey players, figure skaters, and recreational skaters of all ages. The Edge is also available for private functions and parties accommodating from 10 to 200. Whether you're a novice or an Olympian, experience the spectacular Edge Ice Arena.
Staying connected is important, and at the Village of Bensenville, it has never been easier to keep up to date with what's happening in our community. On your phone, PDA, PC, laptop, or tablet, the Village of Bensenville website offers easy integration, so you'll stay connected at home, in the office, or on the road. To follow us on Facebook, simply go to the Bensenville homepage and click on the Facebook icon in the lower left-hand corner. This will take you to the Bensenville Facebook fan page. Once there, click the like button to add us to your newsfeed and receive regular updates from around town. To follow us on Twitter, simply go to the Bensenville homepage and click on the Twitter icon in the lower left-hand corner. This will take you to the Bensenville Twitter page. Once there, click the follow button to add us to your Twitter feed and receive regular community updates. To receive email and cell phone notifications, click on the Notify Me button. This will take you to the Notify Me dashboard. Once there, simply add your email address and/or cell phone number at the top of the page, and then select which service you would like to receive updates from. The most common update section is in the Newsflash Bensenville News. Click on the envelope icon for email alerts and on the phone icon for phone alerts. You can choose one, the other, or both. To watch our public access cable show or board meetings, simply click on the Bensenville Web TV button on the lower left sidebar menu of the homepage. This will take you to our streaming center, where you can play current and past Bensenville cable TV shows and board meetings. To pay your Bensenville utility bill online, just click the Online Payments button and then follow the instructions provided on our secure payment site. If you have any problem, concern, or question to tell the village, then click on the Bensenville Action Hotline button. This will take you to the Action Line dashboard, where you can explain your issue and receive a response within 48 hours once you have clicked the Submit button at the bottom of the page. Staying connected is important, and at the Village of Bensenville, it has never been easier to keep up to date with what's happening in our community. On your phone, PDA, PC, laptop, or tablet, the Village of Bensenville website offers easy integration, so you'll stay connected wherever you are.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Bensenville. I'm Susan Janowick, a village trustee. And this evening we're talking with Bob Flood here on the Music in the Park 2015 Summer Series. So, now that we were talking about the food, what else is there available?
You know, one thing I always enjoyed last year was the 50-50 raffle. You know, it's a nice way to kind of earn some money for the local food pantry. It involves a lot of the different organizations in town, like the Community Foundation, the Kiwanis, Scouts,
Lions.
the BBAA. Exactly.
Yes,
I mean, everybody wants a piece to kind of help out. So, of course, those will be offered weekly.
And sometimes when people win, they give the money back.
Yes, a lot of the time.
Which is very nice.
A lot of the time they do.
Organizations.
Again, which is
You know.
extremely generous, and it speaks to the character of the folks that live in town and the generosity that people have. I mean, you know, I know last year there was a couple local businesses owners who said, "Hey, take it right back, give it to them," and that
was
I know
nice.
I would do the same if I were ever as lucky to win. But it's a nice example to follow. It's a nice lead that folks have taken.
It sure is. When on the classic show, now how do you work with that on, you know, like this on the side streets and stuff?
You know, it's tricky because last year we used Center Street, we
Yeah.
used some of Addison, and we also used the parking lot at what was Senor Lopez. As that will be under construction this summer, it's slated to open, I believe, late summer, early fall. So that might reduce the amount of spaces available. Generally, the way it worked last year was at 6 p.m. we closed the roads. Cars would kind of start hanging out by 5:30, in some cases 4:45. I would encourage folks to not come as early and to I mean, if you have to get your spot, you have to get your spot. But we prefer not to have, loud engines revving on the side of the road an hour before it begins. Once we have enough cars there, I'll open it up if it's early, before 6. But we want to be able to make sure that the thoroughfare of traffic coming down the road can still pass. And one thing that happened a lot last year was 10 o'clock came, we'd be breaking everything down, and I'd still have a classic Corvette parked sideways in the street. Folks enjoying the local businesses at Two Chefs, or maybe catching a movie. So we want to make it clear to folks that the cars need to be removed by 10 p.m. just for the safety of not just the people involved, but your vehicle itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some theme nights. We're still kind of trying to incorporate the flyer with. We're going to hang a big banner on the fence at what was Senor Lopez. Now it'll be the
And
Green
that's a
Street
great
Tap.
location because everybody can see that.
Exactly. And once we put the flyer up, there will be theme nights kind of listed. I imagine they'll be similar to the last couple of years, but at the same time, I'm not sure we really enforced it either. I mean, really what we like are a lot of classic cars coming out. So if it, there was a 70s Corvette night last year, I believe, where I saw a 92 Mustang parked in there. I mean, like I said, I don't think we're going to chase anybody off for not following the theme because we like. I mean, it's such a great chance for photographs for kids to enjoy as long as they keep their bicycles and skateboards away from the vehicles. Yeah, you have to respect the property, and these folks they're not kidding around when it comes to their cars, as they shouldn't. Those are tremendous investments. We want to be respectful of that. So, for the most part, we're thinking Green Street, maybe Addison if needed, but we're still in the layout phase once we figure out the size of the market.
Okay. And then I noticed last year, every year we do is the Mentor Band.
Yes, the Mentor Band.
Are they coming back?
They are coming back. We're happy to have them back. One thing I did not realize is that we always had them the third week of June, which was news to me after I had arranged to have them on a different date.
Oh.
Yes, so in speaking with Garrett George, he was gracious enough to accept my inexperience and say, hey, we will take July 15th.
Oh, so he did
for this
take
year.
The alternate
He was
dates?
kind enough to do so, yes.
Well, maybe the weather will be better because it drizzled during their performance last year.
Right, and that's just it. I didn't realize that they had kind of reserved that spot, and they were kind enough to say, because on the night we usually have them is the 24th. We have a lot going on that night with the blood drive and things like that. So I was concerned about the crowd for the band versus the amount of space with everything else going on. Right. So they were gracious enough to switch to July 15th this year, and it says so on the flyer.
Good.
We'll just do our best to get them back on the third week. I guess it'll be the 23rd next year.
How many people do you think attend Music in the Park?
There's a lot of factors, weather and the size of, the band or the popularity of the band, I should say. I would guess anywhere from, 1,000 to 1,500 on our slower nights to anywhere. I mean, we could probably push 3,000 when we have Seventh Heaven and American English and some of those more popular bands. And
yeah, they have a following.
Absolutely, and that's part of what I was trying to do, is get some other bands I know play well in the city, maybe bring some people from outside of the village, because it's our little secret, but any kind of additional dollars that we can bring to Bensenville from outside residents, I think are a positive thing. So, we who knows? Maybe we could push 4,000 this year. Everybody seems to find a space. I mean, the sidewalks will fill up a little bit more with the more popular bands, but I think.
Well, and the local food restaurants, they do excellent.
Absolutely. I mean,
you go there and Mama Maria's is, oh, no, we had to go get more pizza. Okay, we'll wait, we're standing.
Oh, yeah, see, I'm never there, so I never see that side of things.
Yeah, they run out of food and come back.
They got the pizza warmer on site, which is a huge bonus for them, and they're great. A lot of the girls at Mama Maria's, I think, know a lot of the locals, and it was fun for me. I come from a restaurant background, so it was fun to kind of see all that interaction last year of what people are familiar with. They know the business owners, by name when they're behind the counter out there. And I'm excited to kind of expand upon it.
Yeah, we are a very friendly community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is fun. It is a great night. I love Music in the Park and going out there. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. It's great to see you.
And talk about 2015 Music in the Park. It's going to be here before you know it. And it is, of course, going to be beautiful weather every Wednesday evening. And everything's going to be successful and happy. All right. Well, thank you very much.